guys, and welcome to my Halloween special where we're making a jack-o'-lantern. I'm so excited about this. As a kid, I loved making jack-o'-lanterns. I'd always beg my mum, please get me a pumpkin so I can make one. And back in the day, we didn't have the proper pumpkins in Australia that, you know, you can make these with, because with the ones you get in the store now, they're really soft, and the ones we're going to be using today are soft, you know, on the inside, so you can carve them really easy. But back in the day, I was using the same pumpkins that you'd use in a roast. And whew, they were hard. You'd cut the lids, the top off, start digging it out, and your hands would end up bleeding by the end of it because, well, it'd make a good Halloween costume because it was so hard. But anyway, we've got the real deal today. We're going to do this. It's going to be awesome. But I want to put up a warning for any kids out there who are watching this. Please get supervision. Yes, supervision, because we will be using knives. The things you are going to need, obviously, is a few different knives. And if you've got like an art crafts knife, that's really good for the carving side of things. If you want to colour it, you can use, I'm using food dye today, and I'm going to be using a black acrylic paint to do the eyeballs. Now, you don't have to do any of that, so that's up to you. And then as well, I'm using a big spoon, a bowl to rip out all the guts out of it, and then we're going to be able to carve it. And if you want to put a candle in there, I recommend just using a battery-operated one, because you don't want to put your house on fire, even though that would be a good effect for Halloween, but we don't want to do that. All right, guys, so buckle in, get ready, and let's get this video on the road. Here we go.
Remember to subscribe to my daddy's channel and like and share.
Guys, so grab your pumpkin, and then what I'm going to do is, like I said, normally you'd cut the top. So I've got this bowl here, and I was just going to, if I was doing it from the top, where I'm going to get all the middle of the pumpkin out, I'll draw a texture line around here, and then I'd cut the hole, and then take the lid off, and then take out the middle of the pumpkin. But because I'm doing my one on the back, I've done the hole here. So I put it on there, traced around it, and now I'm going to cut, okay? So when you do cut it, what I like to do is you cut it on a slight angle, so then that way, if you want to place it back in, especially when it's on the top, it sits in there, it doesn't just drop through. So just by doing that, you just punch it through, okay? Now this is where you'll get better at like working out what knife you should use. So I'm just using this small one at the moment, but if I wanted to, I could use one that's a little bit bigger, and yeah, and just keep going around and just work at it, and then eventually you'll make it all the way around and you'll get in. So I'll keep working at this and then come back to you when I'm all the way around. All right, so I think I'm all the way around now. Oh, look at that. So, hey presto, we are in our pumpkin. How cool is that? So with this bit here, you just want to cut that off. That's fine. So I'll pop that aside. And then this is what it looks like inside, if you've ever wondered. Okay, so at the start, I just reach in my hand and pull out what you can in here. Maybe you can plant some of these seeds for next year, and then you don't have to buy one. Woolworths wouldn't want me saying that. They'll lose business. And that's when, ooh, there we go. Bit of a bell noise. But yeah, now you just start using your spoon to scrape out your pumpkin guts, I call it. All right, let's get all that pumpkin guts out. Look at that. That's a good one. Ooh. Now we're going to make a bit of a mess. Oh, let's do this. After all that digging, I definitely needed a coffee. All right, so we've carved out, well, we've taken out all the inner of the pumpkin, so that's all there. Look at all that. So now it's time to draw on the front of our pumpkin what we are going to carve and cut out. So this is what I've drawn. Here's a bit spooky. Ooh. So yeah, so I'm going to draw this onto the front. And then, yeah, we'll get that drawn on there and start carving. And there you have it. So we've got our mouth, our little nostrils, our eyebrows and our eyes. And all we're going to do now is we're actually going to carve all these bits out. So I'm actually going to insert like this. Okay, it's going to take a while. And then around here, you're only making a really slight cut. You just want to get under the skin. So yep, keep going. All right, so like that. Don't worry about the texture or the biro marks or texture, whatever you're using. And what we're going to do, we're going to start carving out. So not cutting all the way through, just literally carving out so you can see the flesh of the pumpkin, as you can see. All right, so I'm going to keep working on this, guys, and come back to you once I've removed all this skin. All right, so as you can see, I've carved out one of the eyes. Now, I've just thought it might be a bit easier if you need to get into the fine gritty bits to use a blade. So yeah, it might just help a bit, and especially because we're going to be carving eyes in this part. So we're going to be going in here and carving an eyeball. So yeah, this tool could be handy if you've got one to use. All right, let's get the rest of it finished. There we go. So we've carved out all these bits. Now we need to add in our teeth. So we're going to literally carve in deeper and do our teeth. The same, I'm going to do the eyeballs. So with the eyeballs, I'm actually going to draw them in like this. And I'm going to paint these with some acrylic paint, just some black acrylic. So there's my eyeballs. All right, might actually make this one a little bit smaller. But anyway, so where I'm going to carve this bit out here, this bit out here, here and here to make it a bit deeper. And then that'll recess the eyes and have them popping out a bit more. And then we'll work on the teeth. All right, let's do this. All right, so I've done that. Now it's looking a bit rough, but once I paint this, you won't notice as much. But yes, so you can see the eye sticking out. Ooh. All right, we'll go on with the next eye, and then we'll get onto this mouth. All right, so he looks like he's getting more and more scarier as we go on. Look, I've taken a bit of that out of there accidentally, but you know what? It just adds character. So don't stress too much about things like that. Now we're gonna go on with the teeth. So with my teeth, I just want them to be, you know, big and sharp and dangerous. So just kind of do that. I'm gonna have to get a new texture. Let me see if I can kind of carve it in with this. Yeah, I'll just use this pen. I don't think this pen's gonna be used again. All right, and see how I'm just working away at it. You can even do little teeth and then big teeth. Actually, no, I think I like it like that. We'll go that. All the way through here. So we've got a rough pattern now. And then what I want to do is go in with a knife, and I'm going to slowly chip away like I'm chipping away at tartar build-up, right? So it's kind of like you're doing dentistry and you're just chipping away, get rid of that, you know, and then it leaves you with nice big teeth. I wish I was better at carving, I'll tell you that much. So you can see that it's slowly we're carving teeth into our pumpkin. All right. So I might just cut this little bit out here so we get a tooth on the bottom as well. It looks easy when they do these on TV, but I'll tell you, it's not the easiest, but it's fun. And main thing is to take your time with it. You know, this doesn't have to be done in a second. Halloween's not for a few weeks away, so. And yeah, so when these are all done and they're looking awesome, and we put a light inside in the back of it, these teeth are going to light up at night because there's not much between the flesh and the candle. There's not going to be much skin, so, well, not skin, flesh. And you're going to get the light coming through the teeth. And it's going to look really insane. All right, I'll keep going and we'll see how these teeth end up. Ooh, he's looking scary. Ooh, he looks like he hasn't brushed his teeth in years. How is this starting to look? What do you reckon, guys? It's looking pretty scary, and yeah, I've got rid of all his decay. I'm only joking. And yeah, so I might get this cleaned up. I might give this a bit of a wipe over, and then I might get in there with my scalpel and just kind of tidy it up a bit. What you can do is you can just slowly, you know, just clean it up and make it a bit nicer. And again, take your time. And yeah, then we get some paint on these eyeballs so it really makes it pop. And you can even use food colouring in here and even in here just to give it highlights. And maybe in these little crevices we can add a bit of red highlight with a bit of food dye. Yep, I reckon that's a good idea too. So we'll get the bench cleaned up, we'll get this done. I'll have another sip of my coffee because it's going nowhere. Cheers. And yeah, let's see what happens as I take a sip of my coffee. All right. All right, so I think I'm happy with this. Obviously, now we're gonna add a bit of colour. So now you don't have to do this, but I thought just because we're doing this on camera, it might be easier to see and highlight. So I'm just using, this is just acrylic paint, this black. I'm doing that. And then, put the lid back on. And then I'm just using a little, what are these called? Earbud. And I'm just gonna brush that around the eye. It's giving these big pupils. He's had a lot of late nights, I think. And that should actually dry eventually. All right, and then we'll do the other one. See how good my painting skills are. Yep. All right. So we've got our eyes painted. Now you truly can see if one was bigger or not. Now with the food dye, so that's acrylic paint, I'm using food dye. I'm gonna go in with green. All right, just a little bit of green in here. This will just give it a bit of depth. All right. And again, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it because I want to. All right. Oops, it's got a bit on there. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. All right, so now we can see his eyes. Ooh. And then I thought I'll get a little bit of red. Now I'm not going to put the red on the teeth, but I'm going to put it in between the teeth. Again, to give it that depth. Now he's looking a bit like a vampire. And you don't have to be, you know, overly pedantic with it. You can just kind of be rough. Right. And then I thought we'll have fiery. Let me just get another one of these. Eyebrows. Now, like I said, the food dye is optional, but I think now you can really see his face, and when I light him up, he should light up really well. I'm not too happy with this green. It was a bit too bright, but oh well. What do you do? Actually, I could wait a second. Maybe I can, look, I'll end up making it a big mess. So maybe I'll just leave it. Yeah, I think I'll leave it. All right, guys, well, that is our jack-o'-lantern. Let's light him up and check him out. Well, thank you for joining us and making our lovely jack-o'-lantern. He looks very happy back here with all his friends. Remember, if you have liked this video, please subscribe down below, like, share, follow, tell your friends about us, and hopefully we'll be seeing you really soon on another episode of Kingdeano's Adventures. All right, see you later, guys. Enjoy your day.